Hi, and welcome to Enchantment of Eternity's Game of Thrones Season 6 predictions for Daenerys. This video is a part of a series of videos where I give my predictions on what I think will happen in Season 6, focusing on a different character every week. This video is for my predictions for what I think will happen with Daenerys Targaryen in Season 6. I'll have to give a spoiler warning for all of Game of Thrones up to Season 5 and for filming and production leaks for Season 6. If you don't want to know anything about what's been confirmed for Season 6, this video may not be for you. So these predictions are all just wild shots in the dark. I don't really have much to go on other than a few production and casting leaks, so I don't expect to get more than 20% of my predictions correct. And if I do, I'll consider it a success. So last we saw the Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea. She was stranded in that sea and surrounded by humongous Khalasar of Dothraki. So the thing Daenerys has to her advantage is that she speaks Dothraki, and thus there will not be a language barrier. So I believe Daenerys will start off showing strength. After all, she's used to being a queen, so she'll string together this ridiculous long amount of titles that she has, like Queen of Marine, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, in an effort to impress the Dothraki. But of course, I don't think this will work. She may try to press her Khaleesi title the most, but with Khal Drogo dead, the Dothraki will consider it meaningless. Some of the Dothraki will want to make her a bed slave. However, others will just want to kill her. I believe there will be a female character who will be a seer or a priestess of some sort who would have heard the stories of how she survived in the fire and hatched 3 dragon eggs, and will convince the Khal to keep her alive and to keep her from becoming a bed slave, but they will take her as a prisoner. We will meet several Dothraki that she will interact with on her journey, as she will try to convince them that she is special. However, a prominent Dothraki blood rider will be strongly opposed to the Khal's decision to keep her alive and will argue to have her killed. This is a struggle dynamic that will slowly play out over several episodes, as Daenerys constantly having to prove her worth. Meanwhile, we'll follow Jorah and Daario on their search for Daenerys, and they would have picked up her trail and realized she's been taken by Dothraki Khalasar, and will track them. So we'll get a lot of character building scenes with the two of them on this journey, and a couple of times they will interact with other local villagers or Dothraki in their search for her. However, around episode 5 or 6, things will come to a head with the Dothraki that oppose her, and he will make an attempt on her life, or it will look like he's about to convince the Khal to have her killed. However, while she's in a Dothraki temple, Drogon will choose this time to show up, and he'll burn the temple to the ground while Daenerys is in it. And then Daenerys will calmly walk out of the temple completely unharmed. This will alleviate any doubt anyone had that the prophecies are true and Daenerys is someone really special. And this is when Jorah and Daario will show up, and perhaps they'll kill the Dothraki that's being a nuisance, and then she will fully gain the support of the new Khal. And it's possible he may even want to marry her, but I'm not sure if that will go down or not. These predictions are based off a scene reportedly being filmed where Dothraki temple is burned, and there's speculation that Drogon will be responsible for this, and other speculation that Daenerys will walk out of this burning temple unharmed. Daenerys will reform her bond with Drogon, she will ride from time to time, and who will follow her around, and this will impress the Dothraki even more. She will then convince them to come with her to Westeros, as will be a part of the prophecy that she will be the one to lead the first Dothraki across the poisoned water to a new destiny. Now, personally, I think this will be the case because they seem to be building towards this in the show. At the start of season 3, she talked to Jorah about how she will have a true Khalasar, and Jorah said the Dothraki respect strength above all else, and that she'll only have a true Khalasar when she shows true strength. And since her conquest of Meereen, I believe she has shown true strength and will further do so by showing she is a dragon rider who can lay waste to their enemies. So I think what her time with the Dothraki in season 6 will be building to is fulfilling a prophecy where she leads the Dothraki to Westeros. Also, there have been casting leaks that imply several Dothraki are being cast for multiple seasons, which means a few will stick around for a while, and if Daenerys is returning to Westeros this season, which I believe she is, then that likely means they'll be coming with her. But first they have to take care of Meereen. So as I said in my Tyrion video, which you should check out if you haven't seen yet, I'll put a link to that in the description below, that Tyrion would have made a lot of progress in Meereen, uniting the city and weeding out those that oppose them. But the Sons of the Harpy, with their youngish allies, will attempt a last-ditch effort to retake Meereen and will come close to succeeding until Daenerys shows up with Drogon, Dora, Daario, and a huge Dothraki Khalasar, and they will make easy work out of the Sons of the Harpy and defeat them for good. And I'm predicting this will happen by episode 7. By this stage, the other two dragons will be footloose and fancy-free, hanging out in the city. When Daenerys returns, they will reunite with her and be devoted to her again, especially when they see her riding Drogon and the relationship that they have. So they will subdue Meereen, and with the work Tyrion did while she was gone, Meereen will be a united city at last, with all their allies together and their enemies wiped out. So Daenerys will declare she's returning to Westeros, and she will leave Meereen in the care of Grey Worm and Missandei and leave behind a third of the Unsullied to protect and guard Meereen, but will take the rest with her. While Daenerys was gone, Tyrion would have brought a Red Priestess from Volantis to help regain the backing of the former slaves which Daenerys would have lost. Indeed, there have been reports of graffiti on the Meereen streets that read, "Misa is a master," so the people of Meereen would have lost faith with Daenerys after the events of last season. However, the Red Priestess would have helped turn this around in her absence, so when Daenerys returns, the priestess will be really interested in meeting her and will insert herself into her inner circle. Jorah at this point would have completely regained Daenerys' trust, but he won't think very highly of this new priestess. The priestess will tell Daenerys about the thousands of slaves in Volantis that follow her and are waiting for her to free them, and so she'll decide to make a little detour on the way to Westeros, and they will stop by Volantis. And indeed, there have been reports that they are filming scenes in Volantis again for season 6, as they reported filming that long bridge of Volantis. Now, I think this will be a really quick 10-minute scene in episode 8 of Daenerys coming in, dragons lighting a few things on fire and overwhelming Volantis defenses, but all this happens really fast, like bada boom, bada bang. She's in, she's out. Kind of like, when they did the sack of Meereen, that happened just like instantly. And even the scene where she sacked Astapor, that didn't take much longer than 10 minutes. So I don't think it will be a big ordeal. It'll be really quick. Daenerys comes to Volantis, frees the slaves, not with the goal of taking over the city, mind you, but she'll leave the city as it is, but with the goal of taking the slaves with her to Westeros, where slavery is outlawed. She will confiscate all the slaver ships, which will also have the added effect of severely damaging Volantis' ability to acquire new slaves, and she'll use these ships to transport all the freed slaves to Westeros. So as I mentioned in my Tyrion video, Tyrion will not be going with Daenerys to Westeros and will instead head to Old Town where he has a mission of his own. But before he left, he would have informed Daenerys on the plans Varys made on her behalf for an ally in Westeros who will receive her and join forces with her, and that ally is Dorne. So in episode 10, Daenerys will arrive in Dorne with a huge army of Unsullied, Dothraki, 3 dragons, and thousands of refugees. Prince Doran will agree to take them in and take care of the refugees as a sign of good faith and strength in their alliance, and will make the historical reference of how the Martells took in the Rhoynar as refugees, and it only strengthened their house. And so Daenerys season 6 storyline will end with her behind a huge army of dragons, Dothraki, Unsullied, and Dornish men, and they'll all be marching towards King's Landing in an epic scene. As for Jorah's grayscale, I don't think that will be discovered this season and will remain unknown to everyone, and it wouldn't have spread that much during this time, as I don't think it will come into play until season 7. And if you want to hear my theories on what I think will happen with Jorah's grayscale, you can watch my How Game of Thrones Will End update video, which I will also put a link to in the description below. However, there have been several production leaks that might seem to contradict my predictions that Daenerys will leave Meereen by episode 7. First is the director who's directing episodes 7 and 8 was seen filming scenes with Tyrion and Meereen in what was believed to be episode 8. However, it is possible this was episode 7, not 8, which would still be in keeping with my theories. Also, there's been reports that the actor who played the Yunkai Wise Master that negotiated with Daenerys in Season 3 will be returning for Season 6. Here's a picture of him chilling with some Dornish cast. Now, this would go along with my theory that a Yunkai will reappear in Season 6 and have something to do with the Sons of the Harpy. However, the Watchers on the Wall reported that according to his CV, he is working with the director of episodes 3 and 4, which isn't an issue, but also with the director of episode 9 and 10. So this would seem to suggest there'll still be in Meereen area in episode 9 and or 10. However, I have several theories on how my predictions still might turn out to be true. First theory is that the actor is returning, but he's playing a different character. After all, it's not unprecedented that an actor returns to the show playing a different character, such as Charles Dean Chapman, who played Martin Lannister in Season 3, but returned to the show as Tommen Baratheon in Season 4. Because we did see the actor hanging out with the Dornish actors, many people assume that they just happened to be filming in the same area, but for different locations, but maybe not. Maybe he's playing a new character who will be in Dorne. Or maybe, for some reason, Daenerys takes the Yunkai Master a prisoner and takes him to Dorne with her, so he arrives in Dorne as a prisoner. Or maybe they have a few scenes in episode 10 of Meereen after Daenerys left with Grey Worm in charge, and he's in that. Or the CV is just a mistake. As you can see, I'm doing a lot of mental gymnastics here to try to make my theory of Daenerys leaving for Westeros in episode 7 a reality. But the fact is, this prediction is probably wrong, and she may not leave until the end of the season, or maybe not even until next season. However, until proven otherwise, I'm sticking with these predictions and holding out hope this is the case. So that's it for my Season 6 predictions on Daenerys. If you happen to be watching this video in the first couple of days I released it, I'd like to announce I'm doing a live Q&A video where I'll answer questions about Game of Thrones or anything else I cover on my channel. So if you have any questions you'd like to ask me, just submit them in the comment section below, but begin your comment with Q&A so I know it's meant for the Q&A video. And also note that this comment will not appear in the comment section, but I will hold it back for that video. Or you can just join me live in the chat and ask me questions directly. I'll be doing this Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the US time zone. Also, I just want to give a quick thank you to everyone who subscribed to my channel, as I have reached 2,000 subscribers earlier this week. Glad to see my channel's growing, so thank you for subscribing, and if you're not subscribed, make sure to do that, as I have a special surprise planned once I reach 3,000 subscribers, which hopefully won't be too long off. Also, be sure to check back here every Monday for a new Game of Thrones Season 6 prediction video focusing on a different character every week, and check out my channel for many more Game of Thrones videos, and thanks a lot for watching.